These playoff games suck.
Why?
Well, I guess the
I knew you would have complaints on like the placement of the games, the timing, at the very least.
The not so great teams is part of it.
True.
Is it going to be Skylar Thompson? I mean, a couple of these ball games are going to be 41-13.
Okay, Miami Buffalo is going to be a fun game. All right.
Could be.
Yeah, it could be a fun game. Both games were really competitive.
And Tua does well after concussion.
Skylar Thompson, it's not going to be a competitive football game. It's not going to be a competitive football game. Some of the balls he threw yesterday took forever to land, and they went like 15 yards.
Okay. San Francisco's going to hammer Seattle.
Yes. Chargers-Jacksonville could be fun.
I think it could be fun.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. 8 o'clock, 8:15 game.
Slugfest.
For some reason, people are saying Trevor Lawrence looked good the other night.
Looked aight.
Didn't?
Looked aight.
The only thing that the Jags really have going for them is they don't have to fly across the country. That's such an awful fucking
Exactly,
trip.
especially
That's such an awful
with
trip.
the injuries and the short week. It's always guaranteed that you get an AFC South team the first day of the wild card.
The early game.
Yeah, the early game. So Chargers have a short week. We'll talk more about Brandon Staley's decision to play his guys.
Yeah, and inflammation doesn't get better on long flights.
Baltimore, Cincinnati. You don't know about Lamar. You might be right. I might be coming around on this. Dallas, Tampa Bay is going to be a good football game.
Oh God, must see.
And if it's not a good football game,
entertaining at the very
it'll
least.
be entertaining.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I mean they're batting about 500.
Hey,
but I'm excited about your Giants.
Yeah. That'll be cool.
Daniel Jones, man, I can't wait to watch him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah. Eagles will host the Niners for the NFC title. Yeah.
That's right.
Can't we put that in Sharpie?
And that matchup scares the shit out of me. As an Eagles fan, I guess I would count myself.
Brock would be 8-0 all time as a starter at that point.
Incredible. Okay, let's kick this thing off. America's teams. Is this the final installment?
Oh, I don't think so. I was hoping we would go forever.
I'll be submitting them through the spring.
Because some of my teams aren't football teams.
Yeah, we'll have March Madness,
that's
etc.
true. Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are other sports.
Yeah, you're right. You want to start?
I'd be delighted to. The Chicago Bears.
Yes.
My first America's team. Holy heck, you got the number 1 overall pick in the entire NFL draft. That was...
And you don't need a quarterback.
Do you find the discussion interesting at all?
Which discussion?
If you don't think Justin Fields is a thrower of the ball...
I think that's a non-discussion.
I agree with you, but you could go get another guy 2 years behind Justin Fields with regard to a rookie deal.
I don't like any of this.
Justin Fields.
I don't like any of this.
For a big old haul.
No,
Are you in September? Have you seen what the gentleman has done late in the season? I know there's still concerns about him throwing the football.
I'm with you.
But all I'm saying is when you're able to tank as gracefully as they tanked.
They were 2-1.
Okay?
They won 3 games.
Gracefully.
They were a playoff team.
When the draft pick makes tanking palatable, the draft pick might be special. Mm-hmm. That's just kind of the rule I'm going off of. And the Bears are going to have a ton of picks and a ton of capital as a result of it. They have a bunch of cap space next year, $119 million. They have 8 draft picks as it stands.
8 draft picks, and you're probably going to be looking at 12, 13 draft picks by the time they're done with this.
Do all Chicago pro teams suck right now? I think I read that all
the
5.
Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup a number of times when I was there. The Cubs won the World Series. The White Sox were coming off of being really hot before I got
home
there.
To roost.
But now it's the youth.
Place.
But now it's the youth of Chicago sports are going to build them back up.
But I'm just telling you, I mean, like Justin Fields made it feel like the last 10 games of the season, they lost all of those games. They haven't won since they beat New England.
There were moral
victories. That if you polled Bears fans, they seemed happier now than they were in the Cutler era.
Fuck yeah.
It's like because there's hope.
Not only because there's hope, but they see a guy in Justin Fields that's relatable, a guy that gets up and talks to the podium and he puts his emotions on his sleeve. And for better or worse, there were times this season where people were saying, you can't say that at the podium, but people also appreciate the fact that he's even there after getting his ass kicked.
It's all class.
All class.
I like the kid
They got
a lot.
their quarterback, so quit that nonsense.
No, I just think it's interesting.
Continue, because we're going to talk more about that.
Chicago Sky went 26-10 last year.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, did they?
Yep.
At the Allstate Arena.
At the Allstate Arena.
I remember you went and sat courtside when Deladon played.
Yeah, stud.
Yeah. Blue Hen.
Delaware, yes.
Oral Roberts featuring. All right, so Cat's last name is Abmas. You'd think Abmas. I don't know. It's Asmus.
Okay.
For reasons unknown.
I don't get it.
He had a good tournament, maybe last year, 2 years ago. They lost a transfer out. But Asmus, this kid Asmus, look up Asmus, the half-court buzzer beater he hit over the weekend.
First name Max.
Max Asmus, yeah. This is a fun club, Oral Roberts. They had the Kansas City Roos. They're the Kangaroos. They're the Roos.
I like that.
Kansas City. And some folks, surely, were on the Oral Roberts money line, and that was a fun ending.
Oh, okay, got it. I was waiting.
And the Kansas City Kangaroos?
Yeah.
That's...
Didn't know they existed.
Look at Max Asmus.
UMKC Roos.
Also, I caught Gunnar Olszewski's College of Origin yesterday. I've never heard of it. Look that one up.
Where was it?
You should see some
No
of these
idea. Look
schools
that shit up. It's
playing D1 college hoops.
Like Shippensburg?
Yeah.
Queens?
Bemidji State.
Bemidji State.
Oh, yeah.
Can somebody tell me where Bemidji State is?
I went to
Minnesota.
Luigi Tech.
Okay. Luigi Tech.
Tarleton State is a school.
Tarleton State. I know Tarleton State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. The Georgia Bulldogs. By the time some of you are listening to this, Georgia's won the national championship by 24 points over the TCU Horned
You think it's
Frogs.
that safe?
Valiant
And they won't
effort. I do.
cover.
Yeah. No. I think it's cover city. I do.
Okay.
I think the talent disparity is so great that this will not be a competitive football game Monday night.
My buddies want me to go to a bowling alley to watch. I don't know if
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Keglers?
You want to go?
I thought
I'll pull the
No,
audience.
I just said we weren't inviting any more people. I said it on the group thread.
Oh, you
That's
did?
a we thing.
Yeah.
Are you going to go?
Yeah, I committed.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
we thing.
Yeah, you can go.
I'd rather not watch it in public,
Yeah.
but
This is part of the deal.
Yeah, I
Being in a
committed.
group of
One
friends.
time I was eating French fries at Keglers, and a guy put a cigarette out in my ketchup.
that's amazing.
And he didn't give me a cigarette.
The Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
are an America's team. What a week for those cats. Nyheim Hines kicks it off with a return for a touchdown and then adds another.
Well, he didn't kick it off.
They
That was really something, huh?
that was awesome. That was very cool. And then they go on to
Very uncharacteristic of the Patriots special teams unit.
they get behind to the Pats. You're wondering, do these guys want to see the Pats next
Yeah.
week? But they end up pulling it out. Did you catch how they said everybody at the hospital in Cincinnati was going to go to great lengths to allow to get DeMar to watch the game? It's like, I don't know, turn it on.
Yeah.
Is that-
Great lengths.
Find the remote.
Yeah.
Great lengths. It's a nationally televised game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Tony Romo's on the call.
DeMar's like, I got this.
Yeah. Shoot, the remote's probably on the
Yeah.
side of the bed. So hopefully DeMar got to see the Bills close out the
What
regular
an
season
anxiety!
fashion.
What an anxiety reliever for the entire country.
Oh,
Yes.
You know, as the week went on, it was just like people were so uptight about this thing. Understandably, I mean, the first couple nights I couldn't. Well, I slept, but I was waking up and checking my phone. Like, I don't do that for anything.
You're right.
And just for the league and for DeMar and for the Bills to get, not only the whole game of life thing, but also the FaceTimes, the Instagram posts, the Twitter posts. Like, this guy is good, man, and it happened before Sunday.
Doesn't seem real.
So we could all get back to watching football.
Big Raj can
like
sell
nothing
some
happened.
T-shirts.
Yeah.
Big Raj.
Yeah. It's good for Big Raj.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. And finally, I reckon we'll run the table with this one. The Detroit Lions. Not a cooler story in Week 18 than Detroit, with nothing to play for besides ruining the Fugu.
Yeah, they went Fugu.
They went Fugu. They go out and
What do you mean?
keep the Green
Well,
Bay Packers out
in
of the
Japan,
playoffs.
Kyle, have you ever been to Japan?
No.
There's a you would be huge in Japan. There's a delicacy. Can you imagine him over there, though? I mean, no. So there's a delicacy called fugu. It's one of the most dangerous fishes in the ocean.
Is it a puffer fish?
To eat. It's a puffer fish.
Yeah.
It can only be prepared perfectly.
Fugu
and I was
chefs.
saying last week that in the event that Detroit is eliminated, how does Dan Campbell appeal to his team? Tell him to be like the fugu.
I do remember
like they're
this
trying
now.
to serve us up for dinner on Sunday Night Football for Aaron Rodgers and for the country. We're going to get the Packers in. It's exactly what the brass
puffer
wants.
fish their ass.
But we don't. There's no qualified fugu handler in the Wisconsin area.
And I was with you on that. I thought if anybody could get a team up in a scenario like that, it would be Dan Campbell. But when the Rams were driving to win it,
Yeah.
and then they weren't,
Yeah.
and they go to overtime and lose it, I was like, that's
Huge
got to be
deflation.
deflating.
Huge deflation.
And yet, there we were. Jamal Williams. Y'all catch postgame Jamal Williams?
Yeah, he's special.
Range
y'all
of
catch-
emotions.
Y'all catch pregame intro Jamal Williams?
Yes.
The guy's electric.
Stud.
Yeah.
And now the Detroit Lions all-time all-time
I
leader
will say
touchdowns
this about your
season.
point, seeing the Rams not win and then the Lions are eliminated before the game. It does kind of give you that, okay, we only have 4 quarters of football left. Let's leave it out there.
When you're
Let's-
playing spoiler, it's less.
And you can see the finish line
It's
now.
less pressure packed than, and players know in the NFL, like if we're out on this field, we have to play, or you get hurt. Like you can't check out of something like that. And all these guys want to be a part of the future with the Detroit Lions because the future looks bright. So guys are going to play hard.
And then the OC might call hook and ladder crack
How
toss
about it?
That was awesome.
on 3rd and long.
Hey,
or
let's,
whatever the hell it
we
was.
got to get. We're going to get to that in a little bit.
Okay,
Who's your next
okay.
America's
I got
team?
excited.
That's 5. That's
Okay.
5.
Yeah, Kyle.
Okay, so my America's teams. Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's the football team with the most valuable player on it, and in my opinion, a guy that's really undervalued in the Coach of the Year discussion, Andy Reid. He should be in the conversation every single year. They lost their number 1 weapon outside of
Congrats.
Patrick, and they still found a way to get better offensively.
Congrats, Andy. You were in the conversation, but Nick Sirianni must cash out this Coach of the Year.
Brian Dable.
Kyle Shanahan.
Better offensively, yeah?
Yeah, I believe so. I think they're more well-rounded offensively.
Okay.
Number 2, the Lions. They had the entire country on the edge of their seats last night. Spoilers, funny intros, redemption quarterbacks. Jared Goff's arc has been a lot of fun this year. My God, that drive down the field, that gutsy throw and catch there to really seal the game. Penei Sewell's arms in the air. We were all Lions fans for a bit last night. Number 3, Lovie Smith. Quiet quitting and positioning himself to be in the Bears Hall of Fame.
Put an individual
Today.
in the America's teams.
Yes, because he's without a team.
Yes.
So that's kind of
Free agent coach Lovie
Yep.
Smith.
number 4, Cincinnati Bengals. One of the hottest teams in football, and without a doubt, this country loves watching Joe Burrow play the game of football. I may be projecting. I just really think he is the epitome of a quarterback. He looks like a quarterback, talks like a
He
quarterback.
does central casting.
Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Number 5, the Buffalo Bills medical team and the U Cincinnati Hospital medical staff.
Nice.
I haven't gotten to shout them out this week.
Yeah.
Here's my shout out.
Okay, I got StubHub for reminding me on Thursday as we taped Amp that so I was supposed to go to this concert last week, remember? Or Saturday night I was going up to DC to go see this kind of post-punk band from Belarus. Don't ask. But Thursday, as I bragged about my weekend plans, Reed hopped on StubHub and saw that the show was April 8th. So I'm in the group text with the guys all week. I'm sending my buddy an Airbnb on a Friday, and he's like, "We got plenty of time." I'm like, "I don't think we have plenty of time." I was pretty sure I was going to DC this weekend, and I wasn't. But there's a loophole there. There's kind of a silver lining when you find out that the thing you got permission for, you don't have to do anymore. You can still go get drunk because you've already gotten permission for a block of time Saturday night to go hang out. So that brings me to my second team, my second America's team, the businesses of Charlottesville, the staple businesses of Charlottesville, the charter franchises of the Charlottesville business scene. I want to shout out 2 businesses. Saturday I went out and took my family out to Riverside. That was great.
Crown Jewel.
Riverside is one of the crown jewels of Charlottesville, best burger in town, and it's just so consistent. It's like they're doing the Macon drill back there. I mean, it's like it's the same process.
Tim Duncan in the paint.
No, yeah, but it's automatic. They have it down to a science. And then I want to shout out Dirty Nelly's, where we watched the game Saturday night, Jacksonville, Tennessee game. Not a lot of places in Charlottesville with TVs that you can watch a game and enjoy a cold beer, especially in a setting like Dirty Nelly's. Actually brought cash to Dirty Nelly's. Waylon lost a tooth yesterday, called me twice about it while I was on the live stream. I felt terrible that I wasn't there to see it. But when I got home, we had to arrange the monies for the kid. And you remember there's a whole conversation about how much money you need to give a kid when he loses a tooth. Well, I kind of land on the, well, he didn't do anything to earn it end of the spectrum, and I don't want like a spoiled rich kid.
Zach Wilson?
No, yeah, I don't want my kid to be like Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson got like $500 every time he lost a tooth.
You don't want expectations.
So I gave him Dirty Nelly's singles. So he got singles from behind the bar at Dirty Nelly's, which is kind of special. One day, I can't wait to tell him about that. Don't spend it all in one place.
Waylon said, "Dad, here's my cash tag."
Yeah, right.
There you go.
Meg, when we pulled the $3 out of my pocket, Meg was like, "That's plenty." I was like, "Atta girl."
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the program with me. The Houston Texans. Houston Texans are the epitome of America. What can we do to help ourselves in the future? Fuck it. Let's win right now. Kind of a mankind joke as well. But the Houston Texans are America's team. That was awesome.
No, it wasn't.
It was awesome.
It was so bad.
It was awesome.
Exciting time to be a Bears fan.
It was Lovie Smith with the fuck you, you're cool, I'm out, dude. That was one of the best
quiet quitting
job walk-offs. Because he found out that he was getting fired before the game. What do you expect him to do?
That Colts DB who jumped 6 seconds before the ball was in his orbit might have been on the take.
It was like a Hail Mary. I wanted to come out here this morning and say, man, the Colts the Colts gave up a 4th and 12. They gave up a 4th and 20 on the last drive. But let me put this differently. The Houston Texans, who were in contention for the first pick, converted a 4th and 12 and a 4th and 20 and then trotted out the 2-point for a 2-point conversion try, which they succeeded at and won the football game. Just absolutely incredible when you consider this is like a franchise-altering. Yesterday was franchise-altering. It's just wild. You don't get to see that a lot in the NFL. One quote-unquote meaningless game is going to alter a franchise's
history.
Future.
Yeah.
I mean, and the crazy thing is, like, is Houston going to have too much pride to move back into that one spot? Like, if they really like Bryce.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's insane to me that one drive changes so much, and Chicago's on their way now. If they do the right things, polls, Ian Cunningham, our guy. So, yeah, like, and another thing with the Texans is, why bring in Lovie Smith for a year and fire him when this seemed like, this was what was going to happen the whole time? Why not keep David Culley on another year? It kind of makes you wonder if Culley was just like, I'm not with this.
I feel like nobody wants to be there.
Because, like, why fire 2 coaches? And now the next coach is going to be the 5th coach in 4 years. So, and, unfortunately, many of them black coaches. They just keep, hiring a black coach and firing a black coach. It really does kind of make a mockery of the process a little bit.
I think they're going to keep going with that.
You think?
Next man up, Josh McCown.
Well, yeah, they almost hired Josh McCown, and can you remember when we were like, that'll never happen? They'll never hire a former player off the street to be an NFL head coach. Now Jim Irsay, hold my beer.
Yep.
Josh McCown's the type of guy that could lead a group of guys, man. He's
yeah, but he can't be an NFL head coach right off the street.
But I think he's definitely a guy you'd want in your meeting rooms talking to your players.
Hey, man, I'm going to say this because I know he's seen it. He'd be the first to tell you this shit's funny. But the fucking his whole spiel on landing in St. Louis.
Porn.
Have you ever heard this?
So great.
Have you heard this?
I don't know.
Okay, so Josh McCown's talking about porn. He's doing basically like a PSA for not watching porn. And he's like, it reminds me of this one time I was headed to Detroit. And all of a sudden we land, and the captain comes on, and he's like, welcome to St. Louis. And everybody's like, how did we get here?
This isn't where we
And that's a lot like me when I'm standing in front of my laptop, and I'm like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Yep.
Or his iPad or whatever he's using.
It was definitely a desktop at that
But he's
point.
not doing that because this was like a PSA against masturbation. I just thought it was a pretty interesting analogy. You've never seen this?
It rings a bell now.
Okay, well, I'm
trying to come up with a Talking Heads joke at the moment.
Yeah, put
my beautiful house. My beautiful
How did I get here?
How did I get here?
Well, no. So Reed, put that in for the people. Yeah. I guess I owe you one more. It's the Detroit Lions, man. The Detroit Lions, and lastly the NFL. Okay, so I had StubHub, the Detroit Lions, the Business of Charlottesville, the Houston Texans, and the NFL. This is a week where everybody was pulling for us, except for Emily Ratajkowski. She was
fuck the
NFL. I read that in the clickbait section.
Why are we angry?
Google. Yeah. What are you? Everybody's praying love for DeMar. You go fuck the NFL. This was a tough week for the NFL, but it was also a week where I felt like everybody was behind the NFL, which is a rarity.
I can't believe nobody said Jacksonville. If they were in a bigger market, that would be the huge story.
Yeah, it's a huge story. It is a huge story. Go ahead.
Yeah, I can address that. I don't like Jacksonville. I just don't. I don't
The
like
town?
the team. Like Doug.
Love Doug.
Like Doug.
What's not likable about Jacksonville?
I don't know.
I love Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know.
Christian Kirk, Christian Kirk, everybody making fun of the contract, and he goes out and ball out. You hate Evan Ingram, yet he played really well this year.
I feel like the Titans outplayed him. Yeah.
Maybe so.
I mean, it's not like they got a bad whistle or anything.
Yeah.
They went out and earned it.
Outplayed
It was
him
a big
except
play.
for,
It was a big play.
Score.
It's a big play. I don't know.
You still haven't given us a real reason.
Well, they got rid of the Hooters at the landing.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with the Jags. That was the only place we went for the Gator Bowl. We were down the landing.
They still have
We stayed-
delightfully
yeah,
tacky
we-
yet unrefined establishments down there. And I
Man.
hear Hooters isn't doing too well right now.
We were out there running
way.
on. We were running on wings, man. Out there at the.
Yeah, you can tell.
I was just
Michael Crabtree wasn't.
Crabtree wasn't running on.
God,
no,
he
I did
can't-
see him at the landing.
Came to play.
He might have been heading to the Hooters.
Okay. This is a funny headline.
Sorry, but
Sorry, but fuck the NFL. Emily Ratajkowski is pissed after DeMar Hamlin suffers life-threatening cardiac arrest during an NFL game.
That's one way to just get mad.
Okay.
fuck.
All right, now we get to vote on the worst interception of the week. This is going to be fun because there were so many bad picks yesterday. We had like
Arm punts.
the word I was looking for with my son and Tooth Fairy was entitled.
There you go.
But there were a lot of backup quarterbacks out on the field, guys that like, you turn the lights on, they're like, where am I?
Yeah.
Like, am I out on an NFL field right now? I thought I was going to be collecting checks all year, backing up whoever. But there were an incredible amount of like, I'm going to go all the way with this interception kind of picks. Like, I'm not half-assed throwing this pick. Like, yeah, fuck it. Like, there were punts. There were so many punts on the field yesterday. So
Was it Boyle or Boyle from the Bears threw a ball? Tim Boyle threw a ball up that looked like. Remember we used to play 500 on the playground. We were like $4.99 and just chuck it up there. That's what he did. I mean, that's what we were seeing yesterday.
Well, that was incredible. That was one of them. The Boyle pick was spectacular because they just took Peterman out.
Hey, Peterman.
They just took Peterman out, and Peterman was playing too well. And the Bears need those picks. So they're like, yeah, we're going to put Boyle in. And he just throws like a 22-yard net punt. It was awesome. It was one of the best picks of the day.
Week 18 is like Twilight Zone.
David
That was
Blau had
returned. It was returned Patrick.
So not
Peterson.
it was actually a net negative, whatever.
Yeah, but it good 22 yards accurate, but it went all
There's
the way
no
back.
bear in the screen.
Yeah.
Nobody. David Blau had two absolute punts. And Sam Howell.
That's a Zach
And
Wilson.
the Sam Howell pick might be my favorite, actually. He threw it into 3 Cowboys in the end zone.
That was a heat check.
He wasn't particularly pressured either. He just was like, fuck it, what down was that?
It's like
He
when
was,
Second
like
and goal.
Cam Sims is gonna get this touchdown.
You
like
would
when
think
Steph
that was a
pulls up the
2-point
logo.
conversion in overtime.
Yes.
Clean
you had,
pocket.
You had Rodgers, which the Rodgers pick was iconic because it might be his last at Lambeau, and almost was. It actually ended up being his last play thanks to the Lions grinding that thing out in 4-minute mode, which is just it's very fitting that they held the ball last. But Rodgers, fuck the hot route on 3rd and 10. I'm just gonna throw a moon ball to guess who? It is Kirby Joseph. We go ad men on Kirby Joseph and Aaron Rodgers. I'll chef something up, but
Who Kirby picked Rodgers off 3 times this year.
Yep.
Would have been 4 if,
if
hands to the face.
Yeah, the hands to the face on what's his name, 79.
The errant throw to A.J. Dillon on 2nd and 10 with Aaron Rodgers getting pressure in his face. I mean, that's the game right there. When that play happened, I was like, you get a 3rd and long situation.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're fucked.
Yeah.
They don't have a guy
Yeah.
that they can say, 3rd and 10, let's throw to Keenan Allen. Let's throw
Yeah,
to,
but you know what? I'm not. Earlier in the season, I buy all those excuses, but when you show me that you can do it with Christian Watson and Dobbs, and Tunyon made a nice catch last night, and I'm looking up and I'm
Over
thinking
the back.
earlier in that game, I'm like, you know what? They have plenty of weapons. Just get the job done. You know, it's been 2 games now. The last 2 elimination games for them have been at home in inclement weather against Jimmy Garoppolo and Jared Goff.
they didn't take advantage early, and they let the Lions make big plays to stop their drives. It was frustrating to
So
watch.
back to the interceptions here was bad because it would have secured the cover. They were up 16-0, which, by the way, Kenny Golladay just murdered half of America there. And you would have thought the Giants media pool had the Giants plus 13 because they were asking him shit like, did you keep the ball? He's like, what the fuck, we lost.
Well, it was
Like,
one of those 4 catches.
It was his first Giants touchdown ball, but I swear the Giants media had the Giants the way they were huddled around his reporter like he was baby Jesus, and you know, like, oh, not to mention Davis Webb trucking Reed Blankenship at the goal line. I mean, that was a tough cover. Dak, the pick 6 was terrible. That was his 15th, the worst in the league. And the play before, as we were talking about, Fuller dropped the ball. So Dak's in the running. Anthony Brown, we both laughed out loud at the pick he threw to Jesse Bates. And then Ellinger threw into the D line for a pick 6.
Great catch.
Yeah, it was.
Great catch.
And then a duck into the goal line. I think Ellinger threw to the most opposing players per interception, which should be a stat. I think he threw to 8 players and 2 interceptions.
Within a 5-foot radius.
That's 4 enemies a pick.
Yeah.
EPP, enemies per pick.
I like that.
Yeah, EPP. Sam Howell, though, wins the day with 3. That's my favorite interception of the day. And my favorite part about it was they didn't need it.
Yeah, 26-6.
And that was on 2nd down, Sam Howell.
Yeah,
to
2nd and
Cam
goal.
Sims.
I'll give this award to Tim Boyle.
Yeah.
If that is indeed his name, just because there's no bear in the shot, just lofts it up there.
It was pretty.
Yeah,
It was laugh out loud stuff.
aesthetically pleasing.
Yep.
For the number 1 pick.
It was a
Yep. Here, clown noises and shit, circus noises. Go ahead. Who's your pick of the week?
It's got to be Boyle as well.
Okay. I just like Hal, man. Dallas got beat by a kid with a neck beard, was in college last year. That is not good.
Yeah, good looking kid.
You think?
Cowboys
Yeah,
get a cowboy.
yeah.
Sam Hartman doesn't look the same in that Notre Dame uniform. I wanted to get your thoughts.
Still really a really good looking kid. Just he's so handsome.
Who's the hottest quarterback in the playoffs?
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
Give me 5. Give me
Okay.
5 minutes. Kyle, did you ever wear all blues in Chicago?
I like that.
Yeah.
Looked pretty good.
Didn't you like that?
Looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so too. I
All blue
remarked the
Sabbaths,
same.
they come with the gray face mask. They take the logo off the helmet.
Well, not yesterday.
Not
but
yesterday.
The throwbacks, the all blue throwbacks.
I hear you there, but did you ever wear the normal kit, all blues?
I want to see it closer.
Because I don't think that they did some weird. They did the orange unis this year.
I need to look at it. I didn't like the orange unis this year.
I don't like the orange unis either. It looks like they have an NIL program
Yes,
built in the
I've won
image
that.
of God.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Hottest quarterback.
let's start with the while you're noodling on this. Why don't we start with the NFC, man? Last night, the one game that you can really just sink in and talk about because it was a really great game. Low scoring, fun. We were talking about it before the game. I thought it might be low scoring. And, the weather probably played a factor. Gloved Jared Goff. Not my favorite version of Jared Goff. He was throwing some ducks early. At least he was missing low a lot, avoiding the catastrophes. But overall, I think more than anything, I was just heartbroken for the Lions as the Rams game came to a close. And I actually texted Michael Brockers and was like, are y'all watching this game in the fourth quarter? Like, don't lie to me. And he's like, we're not even looking at it. He goes, how are they playing? And I go, the Rams are actually, not to jinx it, which I kind of did, but it looks like they're going to go in and score here. It was at the end of the half. But the bottom line is, if I'm to believe Michael Brockers, it's not like the team's huddled around a TV.
They had one mission that day.
They had one mission, and that was to win that football game. I'm sure it hurt to find out when they found out, or when they saw that the Rams did not win. But you heard Dan Campbell. He didn't make any bones about it. We're trying to win so they don't go to the playoffs. And I think sometimes you forget Detroit and Green Bay is not a rivalry, but this is a team that's just been getting the shit kicked out of them by Green Bay for a decade, longer than that.
And you even hear the way Aaron Rodgers talks about his opponents, particularly Detroit and Chicago.
Yeah.
And he just makes a mockery of them.
Yeah,
and,
well.
And it's it happens on the field, but it happens at the podium too. And
well, not
Detroit's
last
fed
night.
Up with it. Detroit's fed up with it.
Not last night. And I thought Jared Goff had his moments early where he wasn't great. But I also thought, hey, that throw off his back foot for a touchdown, 45 yards or whatever it was a dart. He made a great throw on the Jamison Williams flea flicker touchdown that got called back. He delivered late. They possessed the football when they needed to. The defense played well. Hutchinson had 2 sacks in the first half. Buggs was great. Love this kid, Buggs. Defensive tackle, perfect name for a defensive tackle. Buggs with 2 G's.
And he's a hit man.
Kirby Joseph with a picked him off twice, as we mentioned. Dan Campbell's out there. When we talked about this, his nose is freezing off.
Yeah, I guess that's a circulation thing.
I'm praying for Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Love for Dan Campbell's nose.
He's become a dome player.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's out there. He's taking chances. Him and Ben Johnson are taking chances. Flea flickers.
The hook and lateral.
The hook and ladder on what was it, 2nd and 17.
Letting Penei Sewell get out front.
Yep. 4th and 2 down 16-13. They're going for it. And then they go quick on 4th and 2 with the game on the line, which really caught the Packers off guard. And they were out of sorts, man, on defense. They just were like, Rasul Douglas made that mistake on the field goal, which made it an easier field goal.
Crazy.
I don't know what he was looking at. You guys said you think
So what happens sometimes is the timeout's taken and the Lions aren't going to get the field goal off.
Right,
so what they do is they still work the procedure. And Macon and I were talking about this as a possibility. The whistle blows. Everybody on the field hears the whistle blows, but the long snapper says, let's still get a snap off here.
Right.
So he goes to snap it. Rasul hears it. He's like, no, get in there. Get the ball out. The whistle blew. And now there's an ensuing riot after the play. What people didn't see was Rasul Douglas hit the right tackle from the Lions, which
pushed him.
Which
He
ended up
pushed
being
him.
the penalty. They cut away from it on the TV.
Yep.
So
So I'm seeing now, like watching this, like the ref before he hits the ball is signaling.
And I think, and Rasul looks to the left. He sees timeout on the sideline. So,
he's
all
like-
Yeah. Okay. So Sewell's
Dead
reacting
ball.
to timeout. Initially, I thought in real time, I thought the snapper had moved the ball.
got it.
And like they tell defensive linemen, just go, encroach in situations like that, force the call, because a lot of times they won't call something like that, but they're afraid not to because, a guy just walks across. Now everybody's looking at it.
that'd be a V casual encroachment.
That would be
It's a
the
heads-up
most
play.
casual encroachment of all time. And all it ends up being is a fucking Kevin Garnett deal. How Kevin Garnett used to
Anything's possible.
no, he used to block
let
every
people
shot
shoot.
after.
Yeah, goaltend.
Yeah, he's
Was
just
it Allen Iverson that shot all the way over him?
I don't know,
Remember
but
there's a clip of
I'm
somebody
happy he did
blocking a shot.
that used to annoy the shit out of me.
You don't want to let him see it go in. Give him
Yeah,
momentum.
and that's all he's doing.
Yep.
Now I can't say the same for Quay Walker.
Quay. That's a pretty weird problem to have here, Quay. You
A pushing problem.
Keep pushing people.
Yeah, but not players.
Right.
Staff members.
What? Twice in 1 year.
I know, it's incredible. He's the only player, they said, as he walked out of the tunnel to be ejected twice this year.
Yeah.
I mean, it was surreal, dude. It was just like he just has this impulse to push people.
And then who is this that runs up on the trainer and gives him a body?
Wyatt.
Yeah,
Watch
Devontae
this.
Wyatt. Yeah, what are they doing,
What are they
bro?
doing?
Like, what are you doing? Like, what? It's DeMar Hamlin week, man. The guy just got resuscitated by NFL staff members on an NFL field. Did you miss the entire season? I don't know what's worse. He's definitely a hollow man, but so is the guy in Pittsburgh who did CPR as a sack celebration on Alex Highsmith.
Oh, I missed that.
You didn't
Highsmith's
see
laying there
that?
on the ground.
Wow.
He got a sack. He
Guys
lays on the
pumping it.
ground. They resuscitate him.
That's
Which is a common.
look.
I'm not gonna.
But it's just the wrong time.
I don't think he realized it in the moment. I think he saw him laying there,
I
and
thought
his
he was
muscle memory
tributing.
went in. Like, no, he
I thought
wasn't.
it was like a poor taste tribute.
If that's a poor taste tribute, they should run the guy out of the league.
what I think,
His
really.
Madden awareness should go down to a 3. If it was just like impulse, I kind of get. I don't
Macon is
get it.
seeing it for the first time, and his jaw is on the floor. Right
Okay,
now.
let me see what Highsmith does. He's like, "What are you doing? Wow."
I
Wow,
assume it
buddy,
was
I'm gonna
something
run
they
away.
had planned like weeks before and didn't like rethink it.
No, I think.
So now that I'm seeing it again, it looks like Highsmith didn't know it was going to happen.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
And the guy started doing it to him, and he's like,
Who is the guy that we're running out of the league?
Oh my
This
God.
is just so. Anyways, yeah, the Quay Walker, who was my defensive rookie of the year pick, he is making a push.
And they put Highsmith's name attached to this, Chris.
Got it. There you go. He's making a push.
Chris, they attach Highsmith's name to the worst possible sack
Well, that's
celebration.
because the producer has written Alex Highsmith into the search bar on Twitter.
That's terrible, man. That's terrible. Okay, so yeah, we know the ramifications of this game. The Lions spoil things for the Packers. The league's a big loser here, right? You know, because they wanted Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
I'm mad.
Well,
about it,
and what we
honestly.
really found out we wanted was the Detroit Lions.
Lions.
I
Playoffs.
wanted the Packers. I didn't want the Lions in that.
I wanted the Lions in the playoffs. I wanted the Lions in the playoffs, followed by the Packers, which you can't have both, obviously, the way it went down, and then the Seahawks, because I think the Seahawks are food for San Francisco, rather. But you know, for the league, it's tough. You lose out on Rodgers. It's tantalizing. The Lions, I think, what did they finish? Yeah, they finished 7-2. This is one of the best football teams in the NFL. You know, however you slice it, but this is one of those unique situations where and I would say the Packers are one of the better teams in the NFL, but neither are going to the dance because they had these really bad stretches earlier in the season, and now the Packers, when you look at it, Aaron Rodgers is walking off the field. And you guys caught the Jameson Williams thing in real time. You didn't have to see that on Twitter, right? Because I heard him, and I was like, what did he say? Jameson Williams comes up, asks for a jersey, and Aaron Rodgers says, I think I'll hold on to this one. And, you know, like immediately the speculation begins. It doesn't surprise me at all. I think he probably is either leaving or is going to make sure that he postures like he's leaving, and this is step one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's tons of microphones on the field.
He knows that.
He knows that. He ain't dumb. He's a smart
He's waiting
cat.
for Randall Cobb. You know, they're waiting for one another. Randall sees one of his old teammates. And
All right.
Aaron has to stop.
Here's where I got to jump in. Since when did Rodgers and Cobb become fucking Ruth and Gehrig?
Bro, I told you.
These guys have been,
I told you.
Like
these guys have
Tirico.
been it for a long
Bro,
time.
I told you.
Let's forget the Lions. Let's forget the Seahawks. It's now about Aaron Rodgers and Randall
I
Cobb
told you
walking
about
off
this.
the
That's
field
a
hand in
thing.
hand. Oh my God, that
It's
was
been a thing.
That was nauseating.
It's like
He's
AJ
Helen of
Q
Troy.
and 007.
He's Helen of Troy. Remember what
They're
they
Jordan
had to do to
Pippen all of a sudden.
Well,
Fuck, Randall Cobb runs 3 yards off the line of scrimmage, across the line, catches a bunch of balls. All right.
Rodgers made a
Aaron knows that.
Rodgers made a year-long stink about not coming back, and they gave him Randall Cobb, and he was like, "I'm good."
Pacifier.
Yeah, here you go.
Unbelievable. Oh, this is y'all's final game in Lambeau. Cool. See ya.
Well, listen, he can't retire because he's owed $59 million.
All right. What about that contract you signed, pal?
That's contracts, schmontracts.
Little Sean McVay over there.
No, well, listen, I think he doesn't have a no trade clause. Listen, LaFleur might be happy to ship him somewhere else. The guy's an amazing player. He's still
Send Kay Walker
he's
with
still
him.
great. But, you know, it's just been objectively a lot of, like, tension up there. It just feels like there's always tension, you know, and maybe a team like the Jets, maybe a team like the Raiders, if they don't get Brady or whatever it is.
Commanders.
Maybe the Commanders, although they don't have the assets of, say, you know, even a Seattle who might be in the running for a quarterback. I mean, Geno
Dan
didn't
Snyder's
look great
been trying to
yesterday.
trim
I know
the
he set
edges
records,
to
but
save up.
let's be real for a second here. I'm really happy about the Geno Smith story. I got a lot of respect for the guy. He had a great year, but do you think Seattle's like, yeah, he's our guy the next 3 years?
Didn't Tyler Lockett say, yeah, I hope he is?
Well, yeah, that's what they all say. I don't know.
We'll see when we. See
So,
what they
anyways,
do in
that's
the
kind of
draft.
a
Seattle pick 5th.
that's a sidebar. And Geno could be a bridge for a younger guy. It'd be a perfect situation drafting Anthony Richardson if you fall in love for him.
Geno will be 33 in October.
Yeah, so he's older. This has been kind of a 1-year aberration. You figure there might be a regression to the mean. They have a lot to work on defensively. But anyways, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers. There's a lot of teams that would love to have this version of Aaron Rodgers, even if he is perpetually disgruntled. And so I think that probably is the last game you see Aaron Rodgers play at Lambeau. I think it's finally it. Is it?
Well, I mean, it's such a run. He's the most tenured guy in the National Football League. Right?
Yeah.
And really puts it in perspective to me when Derek Carr got benched a couple weeks ago and left the building, and he was the second longest tenured quarterback in the league. Aaron Rodgers is far beyond that. He's synonymous with the green and gold. So for Packers fans, it sucks. They're going to have to figure something out. But for National Football League fans, we're going to have to hate another team because Aaron Rodgers is probably going to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a perfect villain, dude.
I like him.
He's developed into a perfect villain, man. It's like any villain origin story. It's like when fucking who's the guy in the wheelchair in X-Men?
Professor Xavier.
When Professor X, Star Trek guy, is sitting in the wheelchair and they do like a flashback. I'm pretty sure there was something in his youth where he got picked on by Brett Favre. Like Brett Favre wasn't nice to him, and then this is what happens, and that's what the Aaron Rodgers story.
Xavier was a good guy.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh, you're thinking of Magneto.
Magneto. No, it was Professor X.
Professor X is in the wheelchair. He's a good guy.
See, I'm confused about X-Men. I don't really pay attention to things that
Lord of the
are
Rings.
realistic.
Chris,
Yeah, good for you.
Lord of the Rings, the big tall guy with the white beard.
Gandalf.
Same character as Professor Xavier. Kind of like the Overwatch.
Isn't there an evil version of the old guy? It's not just Magneto, is it?
Oh, you're thinking of Bran.
Am I? Bran.
Bran wins.
Yeah, all these motherfuckers that.
It is typical for the hero to
villains.
become the villain, though.
Yeah, the hero becomes the villain,
That's a story
or
arc.
the prodigy
Like
becomes
Batman.
the villain. There was something in Aaron Rodgers' youth that made him this way, and that is Brett Favre.
It wasn't the vaccine.
Okay, Kyle.
Hey, all right. Listen. You recall the Jay Wright retirement juxtaposed by the Coach K farewell tour?
Yes.
It feels like we've gone through this with Aaron the last 3 or 4 off seasons where he's always posturing and he always returns, and good for him for staying in one place. But you've been paid, and maybe I walk back my irritation with it becoming a Rodgers Randall Cobb fucking walk-off story at the end of that game, because Aaron didn't do this pre-game, as one wouldn't when you think you're about to have the playoffs.
He planted some seeds.
He alluded to it
this week. Like as soon as he started kind of posturing, as soon as this game became one of intrigue, it was.
Yeah, what do you do? I forgot.
I hope to continue play. That kind of thing. We'll see.
Yeah.
You never know what the future holds. I haven't started manifesting it yet.
He's got a few guided meditations to do this week before he.
And
plenty of time. Yeah.
We're having
circle.
some fun with the guy. He's a great football player.
Great football player. Bad haircut.
Yeah, I mean, he's a supervillain. It's okay to be the supervillain.
And I'm kind of into the supervillain.
Yeah, I know you are. You like the jarhead in Avatar.
Yeah, he was all right.
Same thing. You like strong
Seemed
men.
like not a bad guy.
Okay, so that means that the Seahawks are in. They're going to the playoffs, and Geno limps into the playoffs. Hey, does Geno have to buy Jared Goff a scooter now? Is that kind of how this goes? Or find out what Jared Goff's charity of choice is and donate yearly? Like the Andy Dalton thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if something like that did happen.
Yeah, Geno owes Jared Goff something. You got to send him something.
Oh, thanks, Jared. I'm going to go get pounded into the ground by that 49ers front and lose by 30.
Playoff check, though. Playoff check.
Or there is no more.
There is no more.
Geno did make a extra $1 million yesterday because he confirmed played 80% of the snaps and made the playoffs.
That's great.
Nice.
There's nothing cooler than hearing these guys get to their
Yeah, and
benchmark.
Cairo Santos
Yeah.
didn't have to kick a
These
single
multimillionaires have really had it tough. Good for them adding to the old bank account.
That's what some people would say about you fucking real estate agents. You just walk in and tell them if there's any rate on, and then you make like some exorbitant
No asbestos here.
cut of the sale. I mean, you guys are thieves.
Oh, I'm sorry from protecting you from harmful gases that you
I'm
can't
sorry
see
for
coming up
numbing
from
your
the
brain.
soil.
I'm sorry for numbing your brain as I injure your mind to pacify a society that's lost their fucking minds. Who presents more value? We could have robots be real estate agents.
Hey, I was kind of
They're never gonna replace football players.
I was responding to your
They
brother's
will
comment,
replace real estate agents.
which I
with
believe the line was nothing better than seeing those guys hit their
Oh,
incentives.
nothing better than seeing you guys get fucking.
I don't know. World peace. Didn't we cure polio? That was
Clean water.
clean water.
Rodgers didn't like us curing polio.
Chris, speaking
Stop
of
the
clean
jab.
water, I was on the plane yesterday and coming back to Charlottesville, and a lady and her kids walked up and they said, "We love your work with Water Boys so much.
nice.
My kids did a project on your
Good.
Water Boys," and I said,
Tell
"Thank
them to look
you."
at my face and
I said, "Thank you."
and look closely.
You're welcome.
I said, "Get out of here."
Stolen valor.
I said, "Please get the fuck out."
So the Seahawks are in. Quandre Diggs ruins the Lions season, which is ironic because he's a former Lion. Not a big fan of the Lions. You get the Niners; they got to be ecstatic. It could have been San Francisco or Roxanne. It could have been Green Bay. It could have been
Or
the
even
Lions.
worse.
Yeah, even worse. And I think it's McVay's last game. I do. I think this is for real.
But for now, right? Yeah.
Maybe for now.
Little recharge. 2 years.
I think he's doing a Gruden thing.
Aaron Donald retire, becomes the head
Just
coach.
stay off the racist voicemails or emails.
Is McVayson in?
No.
No, I'm just saying he's trying to do the Gruden
Maybe more
thing.
of like a Sean Payton thing.
He's trying to do the Gruden thing. Sans. No, remember Gruden left.
Sans racism.
Gruden retired early.
Yeah.
Went to the booth for a long
Got you.
time.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then went back and coached the Raiders.
Yep.
And I
Monday Night Football, man.
And I think, that honestly, I think Gruden and McVay have coaching tree connections. They're both Ohio guys.
And
I think
Gruden gave McVay his start. in
coaching.
Tampa.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there is some of McVay that's like, I can do the exact same thing minus the racism and live my life on my terms. Like, I don't have to clean up after the mess we made here in LA. I probably know something about Matt Stafford that you don't know. I might not want to sit through this. I'm going to go sit next to, Bill Cowher or Howie Long or whoever the fuck it is. And I'm going to collect a bigger check than I would have had I been. Amazon's just giving money away, dude.
Dude, it's crazy.
I mean,
That-
shit,
that's that
they
or-
paid us more than they should.
Or that or 5-12 next year. What do you pick?
Yeah, I mean, listen, life's good for him. Life's real good for him. He needs to just go enjoy it.
Does Matt Stafford retire if he sees McVay go?
I don't know,
Aaron
kind
Donald?
of like an elderly couple. It's like one after the other. Aaron Donald,
It's like where the red fern grows.
I'm still a proponent of, especially if McVay's retiring and you're hitting the reset button. I just pray they trade Aaron for his sanity. And I pray they trade Jalen Ramsey. He's too damn good. I don't want to see him rot away there. Did you see him yesterday? I mean, I would love to see them sell great assets for a lot of spare parts and start over. I mean,
Cooper Kupp.
Hope for Caleb Williams.
yeah, hope for Caleb Williams. They could be in a great position for a Caleb Williams. They have a draft pick in 2024 in the top in the first round.
They'd have to go get one with all these assets. Like
Yeah, they have to get one with the assets. So I think that's the end of the Sean McVay era in LA.
Let's just not call it a retirement. He's stepping down.
He's taking a
Goodbye for now.
staycation. And at the top of the NFC, that's the bottom of the NFC, so we know who the 7 is. Everything was all kind of in place up to Sunday night. The Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Niners kind of playing in this like little group of death there, Week 18. You got to keep an eye on these guys. You could go 1, you could go 5 if you're the Eagles and the Cowboys. Obviously, there was a variation of results that you could have had. the San Francisco 49ers were not going to lose to Arizona, so you kind of felt that coming into it, even though they stumbled early. But the Eagles kind of took care of business. It was slow. It was a struggle. Obviously, if you bet the Giants or if you bet the Eagles, there was a lot of emotion involved in the end of the game. But it was just a flat performance by the Eagles. They ran their offense. The offense didn't look the same. I mean, they didn't take a bunch of chances with Jalen, which I thought was smart. They talked about him sliding, and they were getting the ball out. A lot of quick games.
Just want to get him some reps before the playoffs.
And that's the smart thing to do.
I liked that.
And keep that in mind when we talk about the Chargers in a moment. But the Eagles, there were various junctures in the game where you might be like, hey, this game's over, pull the guys. They kept running their offense, which I thought was a smart thing to do. The defense was in there late. But ultimately, they took care of business. And, if you look at the other TV and Dak, Dr. Fax on the live stream yesterday was like, Dak's playing like that Housewives commercial.
I just want to talk to you.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty damn funny. But,
14 of 37.
he played his worst game.
Yeah.
Maybe as a pro,
That's why-
considering the circumstance.
He's going to okey doke all y'all. All y'all are going to get on the Bucks.
I thought I was going to be like Mr. Sharp this week and bet the Bucks. But now I feel like that's ruined because the rules,
Zag.
the rules go the other way now.
Yep.
But I'm not betting the Cowboys. I cannot wait to bet the Bucks on Monday night.
I'm wearing a Akeem Hicks jersey.
Staying on it.
It's going to be a big chase.
Playoff Akeem Hicks. Come on.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be on the Giants, too. You going to stick with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Watch out.
Look at the lines real quick.
Look out.
Look at the lines real quick.
Look at them.
I have them up.
You have them as we go through this, but Dak and the Cowboys. Can you imagine playing for possibly home field advantage? This also might speak to how focused they are if they're looking at the Eagles game and that sort of thing. I mean, they got their asses kicked yesterday.
Dallas by field goal.
Dallas is not to be trusted.
I'm not looking. I'm looking away from the screen.
Field goal.
Field goal. And probably Vikings by field goal, yeah?
It would have been 4.5.
Just over.
Yeah, I got lucky.
Yeah.
Vikings 3.5 favorite.
3.5.
Oh, yeah, you get $20.
Giants.
You get $20.
Giants.
Okay, I like that hook for the Giants.
Giants 3.5.
I got the
Ravens-
Giants.
Ravens catching 6.5. 11. Well, they're hedging for Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
That's the biggest
Bills.
line of the weekend.
Yeah.
What's the latest that can change?
Up until kick.
Fucking Friday, Saturday, Sunday? I mean, I don't know.
Excuse me for the
kickoff.
elementary question.
Yeah,
I
no,
kickoff.
no.
They move up until
The
kickoff.
49ers line moved just in the time we've been talking.
10.5. Goodness gracious. Tough to see the board this weekend as well.
Oh, I'm seeing it.
You are?
Niners by 1,000,000.
Yeah.
Bills by 1,000,000.
Jags?
Jags by 105 points.
No, not 105 points.
That means plus 105.
I can't look at the
odd.
Dolphins
Yeah.
game. I don't know who's playing. I can't look at that. But, the bottom line is
That can be 2. I think it's 34-10.
What about
the
Bengals?
I do glean a lot. That's 6.5 points.
Bengals, boat race.
I like the Bengals.
Dude, are
Lamar
the
hasn't been out
Ravens
there in
back?
6 weeks.
Or is Lamar back?
It sounds like he
This
could have been back before now.
that game stands out to me as one that could be either the least interesting game or the most interesting game of the week because Lamar Jackson is Superman, and we forget that. If he's out on the field, he's going to be doing Superman shit.
Yeah, I just feel like this matchup is so different from the first one this season. These teams are in such different places. The one where Baltimore beat Cincy, and Baltimore players either don't feel good about Lamar playing or they're doing a really good job of selling it. Because if you read their quotes in postgame, it sounds like
Man, we don't know. We hope.
there was a quote from Isaiah Likely that was like, Lamar will always be family. And I don't know if maybe internally, and you know how this is, sometimes players know all the time, way more than everybody else does outside the building.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a feeling in that building that he's played his last game in Baltimore. I don't mean to speculate, but
And they're trying to
heavy
keep him
speculation coming. If he doesn't play, it might not be any more Lamar Jackson in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Did you see what Joe Burrow said about his championship window?
This is
Yeah, he said
amazing.
it's as long as I play.
It's always open.
The window is my whole career. Our window is always open.
Now I'm down for a big teaser this weekend. Macon just threw me a teaser.
They all look.
San Francisco -3, Buffalo -4.
What's teaser?
Teaser is when you put, okay, and for people at home, I'll do this. Teaser is when you take a couple of games and you manipulate the lines, because in a teaser, you actually, like, say a 2-team teaser, you take 2 lines.
These all gotta be right.
If you don't love both of them, you can move the line in any direction you please by 6 points. You can also buy up to a point at most books. So say the Bengals are favored by 7, you can get that down to almost a pick 'em, but that has to hit, and another game that you tease with that has to hit. So
it's like a customizable parlay.
So say you think the Jags are going to catch, Jags are favored by 1, you can move the line 6 points. They could be almost a touchdown dog.
But you have to buy each of those points.
Both of those, and it doesn't pay out like 3-1 or 4-1 unless you do like a 6-team teaser.
Gotcha.
2-team teaser is going to pay out even money.
I like teasers.
Yeah, teasers. Yeah. Well, that's why they're called teasers. Everybody likes them until they look up at the end of Sunday and you're like, God, Bob Saget. So yeah, I mean the Niners. The one concern for the Niners there is this corner, man. The Amador Lenore, who's got a cool name that rhymes, has been picked on as of late, and it's probably
stems from his rhyming name.
Certainly a good
childhood.
thing for them that they're not playing a team that's got a little bit more vertical passing prowess, and a team that they just took care of a couple weeks ago. I know you got DK and Tyler Lockett and that sort of thing. They just don't scare me as much as Aaron Rodgers.
When they've got Charvarius Ward on the other side, right?
Jimmy Ward, who's older. They don't have a ton of.
Why do I say Charvarius?
Because there is a Charvarius Ward. I
played with him.
You played with him.
Yeah.
I was going to say the back end of that defense isn't that fast if there's any flaw, and they've had some coverage breakdowns this year. But this is a corner that people have been picking on.
Diamodor.
Yep, you got it.
I like that safety, Hufanga.
Tyler Noah
Hufanga's a beast, dude.
Flies around
a
out
beast.
there.
He takes a lot of chances.
So yeah, I mean, we got through the NFC there. I mean, that's pretty much everything. Let's talk about the AFC a little bit. We talked about obviously the Colts and the Texans and everything that's going to go down there from a draft standpoint, but Baltimore, we mentioned the uncertainty with Lamar. Miami slides in. What do you do with Tua? That's going to be the question, right? I mean, like, only they know where he is. I think the Bills are probably looking at this thing like, this team played us tough 2 times this year. Not the best matchup for us if he plays. Skylar Thompson, of course, is probably food for them. There was a moment in that Dolphins game yesterday where Jets plus 3.5 was petrifying, dude. There was a moment where that ball was squirting back towards the pylon.
Well, and then it happened.
And then it went out the end zone. Yep. And there was a moment where guys were like, is there a safety? Are we going to lose by 5 here? Are the Dolphins going to cover? So if you had Jets plus 3.5, I know your heart stopped yesterday.
Yeah. 11-6.
11-6.
And then you got the
NL East.
The other option,
score.
Teddy, which it's do we know, is it a finger?
It's a finger. Fingers are tough.
Fingers are tough.
Fingers are tough.
The smaller the bone, the tougher the healing process. I feel like.
I was like, that was something.
There's a lot of that's also there's a lot of mechanics with the finger, Kyle. It's not like I fractured my femur.
Yeah,
not that simple.
Terrell Owens can play with that.
Exactly.
If you want to count all the joints on your fingers, you think you'd only count to 5 using your fingers, one hand, but really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
look at all those
10,
joints
11, 12. I can count to 12 on one hand.
Yeah, see?
Using my thumb. Imagine what Teddy's going through.
The Bills, man, that game, finishing the AFC off here was like scripted. It was like somebody scripted it.
It could have been.
The kickoff return for a touchdown, another kickoff return for a touchdown. John Brown and Naheem Hines giving them some of their best plays. Totally unexpected. If you'd told, hey, in one of the biggest games of the season, You're gonna get this lift from these two guys. They weren't even there, So on a day when the offense sputtered a little bit, and for much of the game, Mac Jones and Matt Patricia and Joe Judge, the triumvirate in Foxborough, they were doing a good job.
Holy Trinity.
They were doing a nice job. If only you could fix the special teams. If only there was a special teams coach on the staff.
Yeah.
For Bill, it's got to be disappointing, man. Because now you've lost the game, the biggest game of your season, on special teams. Make no mistake about it. The 2 kicks for touchdowns. If you give up a special teams or defensive touchdown on the road in the NFL, your chances of winning are not high. Now go give up 2. Now kick a ball out of bounds on a kickoff. There's all these things add up. And, if you look at the way they've lost a couple of these games late in the season, you lose on special teams this Sunday. You lose on a fumble inside the 5-yard line against Cincinnati.
Ramondre Stevens.
Yeah, I know. Who fumbled again yesterday. Got it back.
The very next week, you get a call that goes against you in the same kind of context.
No question. In Miami, and then you also lose on the pitch.
Yep.
On the throwback.
On a touchdown that shouldn't have counted. That is my least favorite play of the season, to the Raiders in the corner.
And they didn't have
when they had one freaking camera.
But what I mean to say is that Bill Belichick prides himself on ball security. He prides himself on smart football. They want to play special teams. They lost in all those ways at the end of this season.
Limiting self-inflicted wounds.
Yep.
Just like,
Yep.
And they're all SIWs right now.
This isn't that, but remember when they lost 33-14 to the team with the number 1 overall pick?
Yep.
At home?
That was tough.
It was tough.
It was tough for some.
And they ended up being 1 game away.
It was really tough. Who's
the quarterback next year?
Who?
Who's the quarterback next year?
Who?
14th,
Mac Jones.
14th overall pick. Yeah, Mac Jones, Bailey Zappi.
I think Mac Jones is salvageable.
Okay,
I do. I think the offense sucks.
They showed me some stuff yesterday.
Even though they showed some promise yesterday, I'm not going to jump on the bandwagon and just say that this kid is ass because he's had one subpar year.
His OC was Matt Patricia, for goodness sake.
This stuff matters, and it's not like we almost aren't as hard on the lack of weapons in New England because you're just so used to it. You're just like,
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, well, they'll figure it out. Like, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, a couple tight ends you're paying $1 billion, and a
couple frat boys at tight end.
I feel like they'll be better next year. Could be wrong. But, yeah, that's a tough way for them to end the season.
And the Judon injury at the end, he did walk off, but it was brutal to see in real time.
And he had an amazing year.
And Uche. Talk about Uche?
Yeah,
lead the league in sacks in the second half of the season.
Uche was awesome.
Double-digit sacks in the second half.
So there's promise there for New England.
Yeah.
You have 2 edge rushers. I like your backs. That's kind of it.
Jack Jones, Jonathan Jones.
I like your fans.
And Jack Jones. And another thing, Jack Jones was suspended.
Yeah.
For not doing treatment. And so all these things that I can just hear Bill harping on this stuff, it all hurts you at the end of the season. And it's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
Great name, Jack Jones.
Jack Jones, yeah.
Cole Strange.
So I think as you look ahead to the playoffs, Macon doesn't like the slate. I actually am pretty excited about it.
And then you go and watch.
Get a bunch of rematches.
It's highly dependent on the roster situation. It's highly dependent on the health.
Highly dependent
on health.
Yeah,
for a lot of these matchups.
Well, the Chargers, we mentioned the short week, them having to go east. They've got injuries.
That's fucking brutal.
Minnesota's got injuries up front with O'Neal and Schlottman out.
Going to the Chargers, what do you think of them playing their guys in a relatively meaningless game?
So I'm not going to change my tune on this. I think it's okay to play your players and keep them in rhythm. I just think you shouldn't keep them in there too long. The longer games go, the more chances of injuries there are. I don't know when Bosa got hurt, what quarter it was. Second quarter. There's also reports that he's not hurt. Kenneth Walker had to leave with an injury. Mike Williams in the back. You watch the Mike Williams play. That play happens 100 times every Sunday.
But not if you're not playing.
But not if you're not playing. But the Eagles played people longer than they might have, should have. You know, the Cowboys certainly played people longer than they should have. People get away with this stuff all the way, all the time. But it's one of these things that, and obviously, I hate to be Captain Obvious here, you only get yelled at if somebody gets hurt.
Right.
I just am not, having played in the NFL, no offense to pull the card, but I know how rusty teams can get off a bye. Like, that's a common thing.
But won't you also give Brian Dable his flowers that they're going to be going in 100% healthy into Minnesota?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
In the last 10 seasons, teams that rested their starters in the final week of the season, they lost their first playoff game 79% of the time.
Damn, bro.
But
Analytics.
But the Chargers, Austin Eckler took a shot late in the third quarter. Keenan Allen played until the final series. He was still on the field on the final series. Feeler and Lindsley on the O-line.
See, I think that's
they were
too long.
banged up.
I think there's a middle ground. You want to get your guys reps.
You've seen what the Chargers look like without Mike Williams? They're different.
No question. But again, you're dealing in it's hindsight's 2020. It's so easy to say, well, look at Brandon Staley. He fucked this up. Mike Williams got tackled. He could get tackled in the first quarter next week.
And Lindsley being in, I know he's not 100% healthy, but the numbers in which you're working with.
Why do preseason?
From an O-line perspective, that limits what you can do. You can't take a guy out because if you put your swing guy in, you could get somebody really hurt.
Why do preseason? Why do anything? Why practice? You see where this goes?
There's a point.
My whole thing is, I didn't even know Reed's analytics, but I've seen teams sluggish for a quarter and a half coming off a bye, and if you're not that good, that can get you beat.
Yep.
And so it'd be easy for me to pile on Brandon. There's plenty of things I don't like about Brandon Staley.
I'd fire his ass for this. This is fireable. Jags going to go beat him by 10 points, and he hires Sean Payton. Because Mike Williams wasn't out there.
Well, you would fire him because Sean Payton's available.
Yeah.
You're just looking for an excuse.
Well, yeah. I am on that train.
So we'll see. Maybe Mike Williams is good by Sunday. I don't know. And maybe Joey Bosa wasn't hurt at all. But a groin's tricky, man. Speaking of, Lane Johnson's got an adductor, and that's going to be interesting to see if that another reason that. This is when a bye really matters, right? Like when you're the 1 seed and you have home field advantage, you want to get that bye. And Jalen Hurts has got a shoulder, so that helps. Lane's got the adductor. There's some guys that you need to get healthy. CJ Gardner-Johnson
healthy,
but I just don't know. Like the Chargers just got good. It would have been a tough decision, tougher than it looks on the surface for me. But he could get fired, and Sean Payton could be the coach because of this.
Yeah.
And the Chargers defense looks a lot different with Joey Bosa in and out as pertains to containing the quarterback, containing the run game.
Yeah.
Which this Jaguars team, Trevor Lawrence can hurt you with his legs, extending plays, and ETN has played really well the last couple weeks coming into the playoffs.
Jags beat him 38-10 in the first game. Got a lot of pressure. The Jags did on Justin Herbert. Their offensive line was really struggling at that juncture.
He was hurt by that point,
the
right?
Ribs.
Herbert, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's part of it, too, is I think Herbert was banged up longer than we thought this year.
And don't short sell the secondary of this Chargers unit. I watch them play the Chiefs every time, and they play not only the receivers tough and physical, but the tight end. It's a long day at the office. Travis Kelce takes shots every time from Derwin James that they play. Evan Ingram's going to have his hands full.
And Arnold. Dan Arnold. Is it Dan Arnold?
Dan.
Yeah. Can't forget about him.
And
Neiman? Yeah. How about your guy, what's his name, number 50 for the Packers? Zach Tom. 2 first names.
He played every position except for center.
He violates tempo in practice.
Yeah, I mean.
With a number like 50 and a name
number
like Zach
50,
Tom.
It seems like he doesn't wear gloves or swag.
Zach Tom definitely blocks you way past the whistle.
He definitely goes wee in the shower.
You think?
Yeah.
You anti?
I actually am.
You ever pooped in the shower?
No, I haven't even gone.
You just step on it.
I haven't even gone one. Oh my god.
Okay. No, I'm raising my hand. This is my new protocol. When somebody says something so absurd, it's just a segue.
Yeah.
No, but peeing in the shower, if it's your shower, no problem.
No, I know most people do it.
You just don't do it.
Yeah.
Pee in the shower while
Just
you
an
shower with
opportunity
your
for
wife.
you to flex that you don't pee in the shower.
I don't think it's a flex.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm probably in the
You think
minority.
it's something?
Kingston, you pee in the shower?
If it's your own shower, I'm fine with it.
Do you pee in the shower?
Occasionally.
Wait, this isn't a difficult
I
conversation.
mean, God damn. Simple
You know.
question, Norm.
Hey, read.
Reed, do you pee in the shower?
For sure.
Speaking of peeing,
Crunchy ass.
Kate got one of those lights that you clip on the inside of your toilet bowl.
Yeah, it
so that when
cleans
I
it.
wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, I don't have to turn on lights. There's
You got
a
a target.
Oh, that's really
You're shooting at
smart.
something.
glowing
That's
toilet
really
bowl, and it's
smart.
awesome.
Wow, cool.
I think she's tired of you peeing all over the wall in the dark.
No, it's because I turn the lights on,
Wow.
No, yeah.
but it's good.
I just pee in the shower in the middle of the night.
I just don't get up in the middle of the night.
Bigger target. Just open the shower door. Zach Tom does. Zach Tom might be a sink guy.
He just pees on the floor.
Okay. So let's do mentions. And
Miller Lite mentions.
good clean show, Kyle and Macon. I mean, we're almost done, huh?
Yeah. Hey, week 18, huh?
There's not much to talk about.
I know.
Should I kick it off here?
Well, I was going to be a little more ceremonious about week 18, but yeah.
Go ahead. Do your ceremony.
All right. Well, it's the end of the regular season. We found ourselves in here, damn near 18 weeks. Been a delight. Mm-hmm. Not like we won't be here next Monday morning, but we'll have a lot less to talk about.
That's
we'll be going
true.
more in depth.
Yeah.
I just wanted to present y'all with actually a couple gifts, if you wouldn't mind.
Gifts?
Gifts.
Yeah, I'd love a gift.
Like
Close out
moving
the-
pictures?
Close out the regular season. Chris
I'm
here.
terrified.
Got you a pair of
AirPods?
headphones. They only work out of one ear.
Who chewed the base of these?
Yeah, that's a mystery to me too. And Kyle, here's one of two stress balls.
Thanks. Will he get the stress ball?
Actually, I really don't. No, I don't want people touching that.
I
Actually.
have already done it.
Now, come on, dude. One of my kids was born, and when I was grasping
So
that.
that's a not.
Yeah.
That's you're not really giving him that.
No, can I get those headphones back? Kyle, kick off our Miller Lite mentions. If you
Yeah, Miller Lite mentions best flight. The Detroit Lions riding
sir.
off into the sunset, eliminated.
want. Yes, sir.
It's rare that you get to feel really good about going on vacation.
Yeah.
You're just like, hey, we're basically a playoff team.
Everybody's drunk on Expedia on
Yep.
the flight,
Mhm.
booking their vacations.
Because you're not staying in Detroit.
Yeah.
Worst flight. It's got to be the Tennessee Titans. 7 straight losses. Get beat by the division rival.
Late at night. But I don't
They
know,
missed
you
the
got fired.
playoffs for the first time since 2018. Thanksgiving, Jacksonville was 3-7. Tennessee was 7-3. It's just a wild finish there. So yeah, best and worst.
Those are nice picks, Kyle. I went
Macon,
Detroit
you're
as
up.
well, best
Yeah.
plane ride. And I went Dallas with the worst.
Oh,
because
yeah.
That's it is a rivalry, Dallas and Washington, and Dak didn't quite get into a groove, missing 23 passes. I don't think you're going to Tampa with a whole lot of confidence. And it was cold.
Tampa.
There's a little freezing rain coming down in DC.
Yeah.
And you're cold,
Yep.
you're wet, you're losers, and now you got to go face the GOAT on the road.
Your suit or your sweatsuit is wet getting on the plane.
The number
Sucks.
1 seed, in theory, was there for the taking at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Turned out it didn't matter, but it's just it's a stink that's hard to
Yep. And yet, look out.
It's
Look
like
out.
I feel like if you put on a really nice outfit, like the Cowboys are going to going to a big event, the playoffs. They got their fucking
Tuxedo?
They got their what's
Cowboy hats.
no, what's everybody do now with the they tag them on Instagram their outfits. The guys in the league, you're not gonna know
They
this.
tag their outfitters.
Okay, Quentin Williams
Designer.
is a big fan of this.
Designer.
Yeah, they got a nice outfit on.
Oh.
They're headed somewhere nice.
Now I'm following you.
And then you got to take a big shit.
Oh,
And
that's-
then you think your clothes might stink. I don't know if you guys prescribe to this, but I don't.
Yeah.
If I got to poop before I got to go somewhere nice, I'm going to take a shower after.
Yeah.
Cowboys don't get a chance to take a shower after. They go into the playoffs. They kind of smell like poop.
Neither do I.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah,
no, I think it is.
I don't
good.
know if it's
No,
a good
it really
analogy.
is, yeah.
It's Fashion Nova
And like,
is what I was thinking about. These
Fashion
guys
Nova.
get their Fashion Nova outfits on now.
What do you have for best flight?
My
Chris?
best flight is
Stomp on
my best flight is everybody's like, did somebody shit? No, the Cowboys are here. They had to go right before the event. Okay.
Might work in their favor though, because Tom's all about hygiene.
Yeah, right. These guys smell like poop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go good flight to Chiefs. Oh, somebody just shit.
Somebody.
I'm gonna go the Chiefs, man. It's early. They're like they have a ton of time to get a jump on their opponent. They get to watch all the games.
It's a good answer.
You know, it's a shortish flight.
They covered.
Number 1 seed.
And knowing these guys, there's probably a couple Chiefs at the national championship. They're
Another great thing is I got
the
Chiefs were on. The Chiefs are on TV now. Riverside had the UVA men's basketball game on. Congratulations to Coach Bennett for breaking the Virginia record. Also, shout out Terry Holland. Just good vibes all around. He's got a scroll buried under the court there at half court.
Break all that story every couple of years. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
You guys
Did you
know
know
some
that there
cool
was a piece
stuff?
of paper under there? Oh, aren't you just in the fucking know?
Hey, John Paul Jones. Didn't know anything about him. Did some research on him. Pretty awesome.
Which one, the Admiral or the father?
Admiral.
Okay.
Oh, okay, because he's not the guy
Or
that
the Led
funded
Zeppelin.
our arena.
That's right. But
Yeah, there's a lot of John Paul
Admiral
Joneses.
isn't John Paul Jones arena?
no, but we do have a
In
painting.
my mind, the father of the U.S. Navy.
Oh, I thought the guy from Led Zeppelin funded our
We have
arena.
a painting of that cat's ship in JP Jet.
That's my guy.
Yeah. So there's some synergy. There's some forced, not exactly legitimate.
That's pretty
synergy.
funny. You thought the
Totally thought that John Paul Jones Arena was the Admiral.
you were like, man. No, rich guy, very rich.
And I
cool,
thought it was
cool
cool.
guy, also cool guy.
Yeah, and his dad, Paul Tudor Jones, named it after his dad.
Yep. But also just
Another Jack Jones.
Yep.
Speak.
Not suspended
Whoa.
for a
No.
week
Yeah.
due to missing
Made
treatment.
his workout.
Okay, so good. Guess I'm going Chiefs. Bad. Man, so many choices. I'm going to go Houston's ownership.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine the vibe?
Flying back to the oil field.
When, as an owner, when
Or
you have no
above-ground
control over something like that, you fire a guy. How many owners get the last laugh in like almost everything in their life?
Not today.
You can, you can get people fired. You can hire people. You can buy people off. Like any outcome you want in life as a billionaire, like that's what's going to happen. But you could not get Lovie Smith to lose that game. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
It's
And
karma. They've behaved kind of strangely over the last few
Strangely,
years.
yeah, to say the least.
Yeah.
I'm getting on my fast jet. I'm sitting there with all the amenities, and I can't. There's not an ounce of happiness on that plane because now we're gonna have to buy the first pick back.
Terrible.
It's crazy.
Good pick.
Yeah,
Fly on the wall.
yeah.
I have two fly on the walls, and I'm sorry about
Flies
this.
on the wall.
Flies. There's two flies on separate walls. One of which Dan Campbell pregame and halftime speech. I would have loved to have been in there to hear what he had to say to those guys. I know we talked about they were eliminated before the game, but Dan Campbell at halftime. It's funny. We start the season seeing so much of the Detroit Lions, and we're kind of like, get them off our TV. They suck. And now at the end of the season,
Bring them back on our
we're like,
TV.
come on.
Yeah.
More Dan Campbell. And the other one would have been Ryan Poles watching Lovie Smith ignore the code red. You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. That's good.
Should have taken a knee on that fourth down.
Can't handle the truth.
That was a big Sports Center thing for a while.
What's that?
All the lines from that movie. You can't handle the truth. You want me on that wall?
Stuart
you need me on that
Scott,
wall?
yeah.
Kenny Mayne.
Yeah,
A Few Good Men. Great
Yeah, a
movie.
few good men.
My fly on the wall is that same Sunday night game. I don't know if y'all caught this. Matt LaFleur, when Mason Crosby hits the crossbar, Green Bay's up 9-6, middle of the third quarter.
Doink.
Detroit scores about 90 seconds later, but Matt LaFleur says, "Do you want me to punt about 3
I
times?
saw that.
Do
I
you want
saw
me to
that.
punt? Do you
I
want
saw
me
that.
And I'm
Who's he talking to?
Is he talking to Aaron or
Who's
is
he
he talking to
to?
somebody upstairs?
Special teams coach?
But why are you not?
Analytics person?
Why are you not making the call? Because we had just
he
seen
is making the call.
okay, fair. We had just seen Mason hit like from 48 and 49 and clear the crossbar by about 6 inches.
Yeah.
So then he attempts the 53-yarder, but he's clearly he's either arguing with somebody, do you
Yes.
want me to punt? Maybe the special teams guy.
Yep.
I mean, they're all in the same headset. But I just wanted to hear
Should
that
have punted.
interaction.
Should have punted.
Who's the person on the other?
Should have
and
punted.
Special
absolutely
teams. It's
should
the
have punted.
special teams coach who's on the other end.
It just he was
because he
looking.
knows his max distances. He watched him kick pregame. They saw the kicks happen in the game.
The only thing that's
LaFleur's
interesting
watching
to
everything
me
else. These
is
guys
that
are watching them only.
It's interesting you saw that. I saw the same
Yeah,
thing.
unless the special teams coordinator, which they're usually not, is upstairs, he's not looking down the sideline in person. He's looking straight out to the field.
It was weird.
Well, then you think, is Aaron saying,
He might be on the radio.
He's on the radio like
sure.
you're on the phone.
Yeah, he's on the
looking-
radio.
I would just look down
You
at
just
the
don't get to
person.
see that a lot where the head coach is asking other people what to do.
Do you want me to punt?
Even
Do you
though
want me
that
to
happens
punt?
all the time. I mean, people got clock people have special teams coaches,
Oh my God.
defensive coordinators, like offensive coordinator. What are we doing here?
But you punt there, you probably don't go down 13-9 in 90 seconds, and you're in better shape.
Yep. I'll give you a viewing party.
Yeah.
The Steelers. The Steelers, it was like heartbreaking, the Steelers not being able to get in there because they played so well. And I just want to say this, like Kenny Pickett, I've been on this thing where, I'm looking at the glass half full with this guy, and the way they finished the season, I feel really good about the future there. I mean, him and George Pickens have a great relationship on the field. Najee Harris, 30, who I'm going to learn his name, but
Jalen
Warren. Freiermuth, Deontay Johnson didn't even score a touchdown basically all season. Did he score yesterday?
No, you're damn right. I got it. Can I do it?
You please.
You can do it. Yeah.
No.
No, I'll do it.
No. You do
You
it.
want to do it?
Me.
happy for you to do it.
You. Me.
All right. Deontay Johnson had 86 catches this season, but no touchdowns. That's now the most catches by a player in a single season in NFL history without scoring a TD. An awesome player with bad luck this season. That commentary is from Field Yates.
The last
What's that? What that whole thing was?
the last
That's a
guy
tweet
that
from Field
had
Yates on the
the
Yeah, we
last
have
guy that
basically
had
just
that
said
kind
it.
of production with that little touchdown production, I think, was Julio Jones in Atlanta. He would fucking have 15 catches a game and never score a touchdown.
Yeah,
I like
so
to
I
say
mean,
Julio Jones.
I say that to say, the Steelers,
Jack's brother.
you could make an argument for them deserving to get in the playoffs. You could make the case that they're going to be good next year. You could make the case that this season kind of all told feels like a victory for them, like they made a step in the right direction, but it had to absolutely crush them in the fourth quarter. They're in garbage time basically, up 2 scores, and they're rushing the passer as New England, that game turns and Miami wins.
And it's all on the ticker.
And it's all happening. I think Miami was ahead of the New England game maybe a little bit, but they're kind of watching. I think we have one eye on it. I wonder. It's such a weird thing. I've never been eliminated in real time, and being on the field and kind of probably knowing that happened. I wonder where their heads were at.
It's weird seeing the ticker. And the ticker tells you obviously what the score is, but the fans will give you an indication
Fans will
first.
cheer.
They go, oh, or yeah.
Yep.
You look up and it's like, oh, there's Aaron Rodgers getting sacked on the Jumbotron. They love that.
Oh, I'll give you a viewing party or a fly on the wall, whatever the fuck is the difference between
Maybe in the
two.
offseason we figure that out.
Yeah, well,
nice thing
it's
to work on.
Viewing party is it's more of a, hey, this is a good seat for the game. Viewing party, here's the perfect example of viewing party. Somebody on the street wants to know, hey Chris, I watch your show a lot on YouTube. What's a viewing party?
Yeah.
It's the guy who got yelled at by the Raiders fan, got RSV. She was so close to his face, and next week he's in the booth with Bob Kraft.
Yeah.
That's a viewing party. Fly on the wall is like, what the fuck is Bill Belichick talking about this morning with Joe Judge and Matt Patricia? That type of thing. I want to eavesdrop on that conversation.
Yeah.
Did I say I had another one?
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
I think you were going to go back and give us a fly on the wall. Is what you
No, I don't remember.
Oh, fly on the wall could have been the defensive front when the Chiefs broke out the Arctic Circle.
Oh,
Man,
my
that's
gosh.
gonna be
Formation.
redone.
Oh, yeah. But it was in there last year when I was with the Chiefs. We worked on that play a lot.
I felt a little cringe.
That's Andy Reid just fucking having fun.
No, honestly though, it actually looked at first. I was like, oh, this is fucking cute. Like, all right, cool.
You got
but
less
then-
time.
Yeah, and
And then it worked.
those receivers going every which way, and generally you can kind of peer into the huddle and track your guy or whatever. Just running right up to the ball. That's kind of sketchy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hollow Man, I already gave it to Quay Walker. Who you guys got?
I got a dumbass of the week.
Yeah, sure. That's kind of like a Hollow Man.
It'll be Jameson Williams asking for Aaron Rodgers' jersey after the game. Read the room.
It was, the audacity of
One
certain-
target and a drop.
there's
in
certain
that game.
players that are not.
Hey,
I'm
shoot
not
your
asking
shot.
for a jersey.
Shoot your shot. He got unlucky with the microphone.
Read the room.
Yeah.
Camera in the microphone. Got unlucky.
Yeah.
Camera's probably going to be trained on
His
Aaron
reaction was
Rodgers,
like, "Oh," wasn't it? Like, because he knew, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, when Aaron was like,
He had a pretty good reaction,
I'm gonna
right?
hold on to this one.
Hey, listen, I respect the kid for shooting his shot.
Did Aaron say, "Hey, I'll shoot you
I'm not
one"?
calling him a
Get you
dumb.
a
That's
different
not
one?
what I mean.
That's what I would have said if I was Aaron.
You're not a
That's-
dumbass. It's a young guy of the week award.
It's a young guy of the week.
Hollow man.
Yeah, he's a hollow man feeling to get turned down for a fucking jersey, for sure.
This is a bit personal to me, and I'm sure many others, but and it's been mentioned, the DB for the Indianapolis Colts who jumped when the ball was released,
6
Yeah, that was
seconds too early.
wild.
as opposed to when it was right over his head.
He hit the
Basically a
wrong
Hail
button.
Mary.
Yeah, could have won the game for his coach Jeff Saturday, who
We got a Bevel Conway now?
might not be the coach next year.
And that was Rodney Thomas.
Rodney
the second
Thomas.
from Yale. And there was another Colts little trickery.
That's the second week in a row you're saying "and" a little weird.
Man.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Like an
I
announcer.
I couldn't help myself.
I was getting excited. My bad.
No. I love it when you get excited. Go
Kenny
ahead.
Albert.
Enjoy yourself.
Go off,
The
King.
offensive lineman, y'all enjoy yourselves. Yeah, the Colts offensive lineman stripped his own player, fumbled the ball.
Yes.
They were in on it too. You were talking about
Fighting over
who's
the
in on it,
football.
who's not.
Kingston said that you haven't said "enjoy yourself" to him once since he.
Well, yeah. No, I don't want to.
You don't want him to enjoy himself.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
My father-in-law actually said that he hates that phrase too.
Really?
Well, you
Enjoy
know
yourself?
what? He's not right about everything.
He was like, "Enjoy yourself." That shit pisses me off. I was like, "Okay, I'm
Is it a
glad you're
thing?
listening."
I don't know that I've ever heard it.
So Bevel Conway. I'm
Conway.
going to give it to. By the way, the Eagles all black looks great.
Yeah,
Looks great. You get the black helmets.
I think the Jags will probably be superstitious and go teal on teal again. but
Confusing. They
I
look
wish
like
they
that.
would go.
Don't do that.
I hope
They're like
they go all
Ravens.
black
Go
on
black.
Saturday night.
Go black.
Yeah,
Chargers in all white.
yeah.
With the
I wouldn't be mad at a yellow pant, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, yellow pant would be dope. I actually am going to go Steelers and Browns. That's a really good color contrast. The balance is great. It was outside, day game. It just looked beautiful.
yeah,
Looked beautiful.
yeah.
And
I want to. May I? Can
Yeah.
I would like to go in and change the settings on your iPad right after the show.
because I have to.
I've watched you punch in that code
Yeah.
17 times
Yeah.
during this
Yeah,
show.
so you know my
And it's
code.
giving me anxiety.
You know my code?
It ends in 2 zeros.
Okay.
I haven't been looking at
Okay.
it. I mean, it's
1-800.
yeah, it's tough.
Can I do that for you?
Not
I'd
right
love-
now.
Yeah, after the show.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I might be in a rush to get home.
You don't want.
You got a Bevel
I can
Conway?
change it at home.
I mean, you
do you
gotta-
have a Bevel Conway?
I do.
I got a lunch business meeting.
Sorry, guys. And I got Rich Eisen here in a couple minutes. I'm going to go with a very college-looking football game, and shout out to, and it was a college game, which so it tracks. Congrats to the Jackrabbits on winning the FCS National Championship. Can we pull up North Dakota State and South Dakota State on the internet to show these cats what we're looking at? First of all, I believe we're playing on grass in Frisco, which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And look, you got the painted end zones, you got the bison in one, Jackrabbits in the other. And if you could get me a jersey, that'd be
That's
sick.
got all the jerseys right there.
Yeah.
I'm not. Jackrabbits got to do better.
No, see, so they're not perfect, but they're perfectly college. Like in North Dakota's,
It's like a high school jersey.
yeah, but they went white, blue, white, and
Yeah.
and the other cats went green, white, green.
Which
look
is
at that! Look at
Jefferson
that!
District.
Look at that!
Yeah, it's that
It
looks
just
like a
made me
high school
happy.
game. That looks like a game in the Valley. I love that.
Western.
It looks like
William Monroe.
Louisa versus Robert E. Lee.
Rockbridge.
Wow, Western Albemarle.
Yeah, a little Western Albemarle there too.
Western has better uniforms.
Whoa! Hey!
This might be the worst pick of the year by you.
Oh, really? You don't like it at all?
No, not the worst.
But it's up there.
Well,
Down there.
I mean, you and that's like that hits me the hardest. I mean,
Really?
Well, we're usually same garage, Bevel.
No, I mean, what are those peck stripes on the Jackrabbits?
It just all makes me happy.
That's piping.
They're the Jackrabbits, for fuck's sake, and they played the Bison, and it was a title game.
Yeah.
After a 32-team tourney on grass.
I'm going to design you two.
with the sun shining.
And not to mention,
It's not just the cloth, you know.
Yeah.
it's their first FCS championship
Thank
too.
you, Kyle.
And also, it's a border war.
That's right.
played in a remote place.
In Texas.
Yeah.
They fought a
the
civil war in
AFC
another country.
championship. Yep.
Okay.
It's
Name
just-
an NFL player from both schools.
From Carson Wentz, Dallas Goddard,
Okay, great. Good job,
Dallas
everybody. All
Goddard,
right.
yeah. Craig Dahl.
Dallas Goddard.
Greg Dahl, yeah.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Kay Walker.
There's more. Oh, fucking Christian Watson.
Christian Watson, good.
Oh, yeah,
fuck
dude.
yeah.
We could name.
Mock. He will be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a Bevel Conway.
Okay,
now.
good. Hit us with it. 'Cause
Bevel Conway, Detroit at Green Bay. NFC North rivalry, week 18.
Gorgeous.
Stuff on the line, obviously, with Collinsworth and Tirico on the call. At one point, they brought the camera into the booth, and Tirico was like, "Oh, you guys are crowding us."
Oh, did you see his board?
And they
Nobody.
shut it off.
O'Shea might care about this. The board, his board. Usually, you're dealing with pieces of paper. Your board. He's got this sick ass. I took a picture of it. He's got this sick ass, big ass digital screen. His spotter's got one too.
Oh, wow.
It was sick.
Joe Buck's just still down and dirty, pen and paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably so.
Got the Dead Sea Scrolls there.
I'm going to show you guys both a picture of this. You're not going to give a shit.
All right, while you do that, I'm going to give my game ball. Lovey Smith.
Okay.
Lovey freaking Smith, man. And you know what's not lost on me with Lovey Smith is you
Thank
look
you for
at
that. Wow.
Mike Tirico's board. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, you're in that game. Your name's on there.
It
all your
looks
pen
like
and
an
paper got it
NFL
on.
building schedule.
It does, which gives me PTSD.
The TVs with the schedules.
Like, why do we have 15 minutes between practice and lunch? Okay. So, Lovey Smith has risked his professional reputation. You just think about the way these owners are. I said it earlier, like the contempt, the feeling of like, I can't be told what to do. And Lovey took it out of their hands. And so now, like, Lovey, this was his second opportunity as a head coach, right? You had Chicago the first time, which ironically he did Chicago a solid. But how hard do you think it's going to be for him to find a job now?
As a head guy?
I mean, it was going to be hard anyways, being fired again and everything, and the way the season went. But I would argue that it wasn't a fair opportunity. And I would also argue that he took tremendous risk doing what he did yesterday. And I would fly on the wall would be
There it is.
the fallout, game ball and fly on the wall. Like, I want to know what conversations are being had, like how explicitly frustrated they are with the outcome of the game yesterday and what that means for Lovey Smith in the future. But he said, fuck it. Fuck these people, dude.
64 might be it's retirement age.
Yeah.
You don't need to coach anymore, Lovey.
It's a great
Or
walk-off.
presidential
You're
age.
a king.
Great walk-off.
You're a king.
Go be the president.
Yeah, go be the president, Lovey.
I don't need to overthink this. Naheem Hines ran it back twice.
Yeah.
Game ball.
I don't need to overthink this. Two Bears met last night on national television, and Jared Goff beat the other Bear, Cal Bears.
Cal Bears.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's not leave out Davis Webb. Looking excellent.
Jared Goff.
Cal Bears.
Guys, good show. Can't wait for the playoffs. We're going to have Bo Allen in this weekend to do some live streams. He's going to be in town.
He'll be in town?
Yeah, he's coming in this weekend. So we're going to be doing some live streams. Stay tuned for what?
Kyle standing up.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to be doing live streams, so check those out. Also, make sure you watch us on YouTube and comment.
Yeah, that'd be
Macon
great.
loves YouTube.
Reply to
Yeah,
my
yeah.
comments. I comment on all the YouTubes.
Kyle.
Sorry about how I look, but I have very little to do with it. I'm going to cut out the dessert that's making the zits pop.
Yeah, you've been having a couple whiteheads lately.
Crazy, man.
A couple Jordan Whiteheads.
Yeah.
Up on the semen.
All right, well, everybody take care.
Y'all take care.
All right. Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.